If you do this, your sales will triple.
Yes. Hello, welcome back to the channel.
Hello!
Yes, my name's Alexis.
And I'm Jen.
And we're That's Flipping Retro.
We buy stuff, we sell stuff, we eat pot noodles.
Yes, and we're resellers basically.
Yeah.
So like eBay, other platforms, etc. And we drink coffee as well. So there you go. Today we're just gonna talk about eBay basically and all that kind of stuff. We're also going to be running a competition because we've got to 1,000 subscribers, and the competition is to win a £15 Just Eat voucher. So if you want to be in with a chance of winning that, wait till the end and you can see how to enter the competition for that one. But anyway, so we'll just have a little quick chat about eBay really.
In our last video we did say we were considering leaving eBay. Because of all the the lack of sales basically. But we have been watching a few other resellers and kind of, you've been on Reddit quite a lot, haven't you, and seeing what the situation is.
So there seems to be a bit of mixed opinion with how to approach it really. Some resellers are panicking, so they are kind of doing everything they possibly can to get the sales up, which generally is a mass kind of listing session. And then some of the resellers are saying, okay, try all this stuff, and there's all kinds of little things that you can try that will boost sales. It seems to be the more stuff you get on there, people seem to be of the opinion, the more stuff you can list every day, the better. And that will increase sales. At the moment, obviously, if you've watched prior videos, you know that we are changing our type of stock that we sell. So it is a case of we are actually probably removing or have removed quite a bit of stuff. And we are in the process of adding new stuff in as we get it. So that is kind of something we've got in the pipeline we're just doing at the moment. So we didn't expect sales to be absolutely fantastic anyway at the moment. But there seems to be an across-the-board problem that people are saying is an issue that's affecting their sales. We have watched some videos where people's sales don't seem to be affected at all, really. But there seems to be this consensus that you need to tinker with the categories in your shop. You need to
drink the blood of a virgin.
Attend a black mass, and that kind of thing.
Worship the devil, etc. Hail Marys,
that kind of stuff. But so tinker with shop categories. What was the other things they said about it? It was
self-simmers.
And if you put anything new on there, don't schedule it, put it in drafts, and then just kind of list it as you go along yourself. And as you're kind of listening to a lot of these opinions and a lot of these things that people recommend, you kind of think, I'm not sure how that would affect it. There seems to be like all these ideas.
Only list whilst wearing an orange t-shirt.
That kind of stuff. Only list using a Ouija board. Should I list this item? No. Oh, okay, I won't then. It is the kind of... There's my phone, sorry.
We don't mean to take the it's just that some of the things that people have said just seem a bit far-fetched.
It seems like there doesn't seem to be, I hate to use the word justification, but, people are kind of, there's these recommendations people are making, but you can't really see how they would entirely work, and people aren't really explaining, okay, the reason you need to do this recommendation is because it will change this thing, and this is what's going to happen. I think with eBay, it is one of these things where you are at the mercy of the general public and what they want. And I think that is the bottom line for a lot of this stuff, isn't it? Is that if you're selling obscure stuff that only a certain demographic will want, then you're only going to get that certain demographic looking, and they might not be looking all the time. But then if you're selling stuff people use every day, so it is normal household items and stuff like that, I don't know why I'm doing this,
If you do this, your sales will triple.
Yes. Try this.
Click and listen.
So basically, if if you're listing everyday items that people want to be using every single day, then you're probably going to get people looking at more stuff. So, but you are at the mercy of also the economy, which, as we know at the moment, is absolutely awful. People are kind of struggling. a lot of people.
Bills have all gone up.
Yeah, bills have gone up, etc. So there is also that thrown into the mix and a spanner in the works, which means a lot of people probably, they're not going to be able to afford as much stuff as they used to.
On a side note, we don't go out for food very, very often because we just can't be bothered. But it was our birthday last week and we went out for a meal to this Indian restaurant in Norwich. I won't say which one. We didn't have anything extravagant, did we? We had a curry and rice.
We had a starter.
Curry
which was
and rice.
A sharing platter.
Yeah.
We got 4 little things each, nosy pick things.
I'm going to say a platter. It wasn't really a platter.
No, it was 4 little nosy pick things each. And it was, I had a saga, which as you know is a side, but I made it a main, so it was a big portion with plain rice. You had...
I had...
a curry.
Butter vegetable curry or something like that with
and
rice.
You had but you
biryani
didn't have plain
rice.
So biryani rice. And it came to
£88. No, sorry, £82.
£82. And that was for 2 people.
But the point I was making is everything has gone up. You know, you can't even go out for a meal without spending near on £100. It's ridiculous, isn't it?
Yeah.
So everyone's just a bit more skint and being a bit more careful with their money, I imagine.
Yeah. And so that is one of the major factors involved in all of this. We get back on topic now. Is that the economy is, you know, we're struggling with all this sort of stuff. And obviously, you know, there's a lot of things going on with the economy. We'll just put it that way, which are changing a lot of things for a lot of people. So it is just a case of that is one thing that is going to probably be affecting people's buying power as well. But yeah, so all these ideas though, and especially the panic that people do have when their sales drop on eBay. But just remember that eBay isn't the only platform out there that is at your disposal. In fact, there are lots of platforms now. eBay was always the main one, it was always the go-to, but it seems to be there's now a lot that are attempting to overtake eBay, and actually I think with Vinted they are starting to succeed in that type of, because if you think about it, eBay's trying to implement Vinted stuff, and that kind of proves the point, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
That at the end of the day, eBay have looked at Vinted and gone, yeah, there's a lot they're doing that people like, so we'll try it too. And they seem to be, you know, they just seem to be quite successful really now. And the good thing, I mean, like we have given up Etsy, though. We have given up Etsy only because we don't sell stuff that's kind of on Etsy really now.
No, and the stuff that we've got is not worth it, because we've been sending stuff all the way over to America and it's been like £6 item, and then the postage is
about £20, isn't it?
£18-20. So it's really not worth it for people or for us, so we're stopping doing that. And
bear in mind as well that with you know, with some of these other platforms you get a little bit more protection with the postage element of it, in a sense, than you would if you just like with Etsy we send a phone back via Royal Mail. I know that you can send via Etsy, but you know, we do just send by Royal Mail, and you don't get, realistically, I don't feel you get as much protection with that as you do with some of the others. At least with like eBay and the GSP, you do get a little bit more protection with that anyway.
Once it's reached the global shipping place, then that's it. Your job's done, isn't it? Really? Yeah,
pretty much gets handed. You all you do is post it to. If you don't know how it works, you post your item to the Global Shipping Programme Centre, and then they basically send it wherever it needs to go abroad. But when it gets to them, it more or less it becomes their responsibility. So if anything happens along the way, then generally if we've had any issues with it, usually where it's got lost in the process, essentially what happens is the GSP will refund us
and the
customer because obviously they've taken it on as their responsibility.
Yeah.
But when you post via Royal Mails, because we've had sort of I think a couple of them on Etsy where you post via Royal Mail, it goes abroad, and then you're kind of stuck with, if there's an issue, you're stuck with chasing Royal Mail for that, which is difficult at best of times.
Yeah.
But anyway, so comment below, what platforms do you normally use, and is there one that you use more than eBay? Are you mostly vinted now?
Got to say, I'm loving vinted at the moment because it's just easy to list, easy to post. It's just easy. It doesn't take as much time, and you don't have to fill in any information that isn't applicable. Whereas on eBay, you know, you're selling the top and you've got to put what Transformer faction it is or something. It's just ridiculous.
And the occasions that people can wear it for, well, not being funny, the occasions that I might wear something for are completely different than you might wear it for. So, you know, like it is pretty kind of, I don't know, tricky, some of these things. And they do pretty much twist your arm to make you fill in so much stuff.
Yeah.
And obviously there were recommendations, fill all this in, otherwise the visibility is going to be decreased. I know there's a lot of conspiracy theories out there about like eBay doing all this on purpose. You know, they're hiding our listings, they're removing listings, blah de blah. I mean, I don't honestly, they'd be kind of cutting their nose off to spite the face if they did that. Yeah. But I don't know, it's a tricky one, isn't it? Really? Every time
eBay messes with something, it just messes up the technology. Yeah. It just things up basically.
And I think that is the problem at the moment. That's what's going on a bit, really, is that they've recently done all these adjustments to the private seller stuff, and they're now following, you know, this shipping program thing that they're now doing, and the fee structure change for private sellers, etc. And I think what kind of has now happened is they put so much effort and concentration into that aspect that maybe a lot of other stuff has fallen by the wayside.
Yeah.
And it's just got to pick up again. Who knows, really? Yeah. Just time will tell on that one, I think. But we're sticking to eBay.
We're going to keep plugging on, but obviously we'll use the other platforms as well. And hope that eBay suddenly, you know, comes back to life again.
Yeah, you know, got to breathe some life into this, really.
But as we said, because we've now got over 1,000 subscribers, we were going to do a giveaway.
We'll put a thumbnail on with the schedule. It's Friday, is it? We're doing it? Yeah, and that'll be for Friday. We used to do lives about sort of midday, so it's probably going to be around about that time, so people can watch it during their lunch, etc.
But in order to, we're giving away a £15 Just Eat voucher.
Yes, so to begin with a chance of winning the £15 Just Eat voucher, you need in the comments to complete the following sentence. I was once caught on body cam. And then you need to finish that sentence.
Yes.
Anything you like. Obviously, if you make it too rude, i.e. swears or words that we shouldn't be using in the comment section, it will be thrown into the folder on our thingy bob that says naughty.
But I do check that regularly, and if it's not offensive, I'll just allow it through.
Yeah, exactly.
We don't get very many offensive things that I have to say to.
Yeah, but you know. So yeah, anyway, complete that sentence. So it is, I was once caught on body cam. So and then on Friday, we will pick a random comment to win that 15 quid voucher. So that's all you need to do. Easy peasy. Now,
I don't know if you get Just Eat in America. Okay. So I know we do have some American viewers, but it will be like an electronic gift card thing. So I'm sure that would, if you have Just Eat, or if you are an American, let us know and we'll sort something else out.
Do you have DoorDash over there?
DoorDash.
I tell you what, if you're American, and what happens is you win.
Not just American, any other. Yeah. I just know that we do get quite a few American viewers.
You win, and we are able to buy a 15 quid voucher for you. Let us know what service you use, and we'll see if we can buy that voucher. So we won't buy the voucher until we know what country you're from, basically. And then we'll send that over to you. So whatever service. But as I say, providing that we can actually buy it.
Yeah, anyway.
You know.
But as always, thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, and don't forget to enter the competition. You know, it's not very often you get something for free with very little effort, so you go for it, and we'll see you in the next one.
Yes.
Or we'll see you on Friday.
Yeah. Bye.